Hey everyone, so today I'm just going to go over how to format your engineering paper. This is a fundamental skill to have when you're turning in your homework for a grade or just organizing your work in such a way that it is organized and your professor can read it clearly, because sometimes your grade does depend on that. Something really important to note is that most professors would prefer everything to be in engineering lettering. If you don't know what that is, I'll provide a link below. But to jump into that, I'll do everything in engineering lettering just so you can kind of see how it looks. So usually, how I have always done it, and teachers have liked this in the past, so I've always stuck with it. I would first start with some type of course name or ID up here. Just because, this is kind of a way for you to organize when you're going through your homework, like, oh, what class is this from, or what homework is this? So, course name like that. Um, or sometimes I just kind of like abbreviate the course name here, and I'll do like, homework 8 or something like that. So there's a couple of variations that you can do that. Kind of just mainly like what you're working on is the most important thing that you should like take into account. Next is your name in this middle spot. I have usually done just Bridget Davenport in all caps, but some professors also like it being done last name then first name. Um, so it kind of just depends, because sometimes it's easier for them while grading to organize and to know what student they're dealing with. And then over here you're gonna have the date and just whatever format you're most comfortable with. Sometimes I have seen it uh, like this. So, day, month, year. But I usually do something like this. It's just easy and quick, and no one seems to ever complain about it. So I do, month, day, year. So there's that, but usually just date. Next, you're going to do your page count. Really important just to make sure when you're turning in homework, whatever, that it's a sanity check for you and the professor that no part of your homework is missing. Next, we're going to jump into format. I always kind of, depending on what class, my format always changes, like whether or not I'm going to have assumptions or like problem statements. Some professors want it on there, some professors thinks that it's a waste of space. But I will include every single component that I have seen just so you can have like the full understanding right off the bat. So I would start with just saying that this is problem 1. You can circle it or box it in or whatnot. It doesn't really matter. And then I would jump off into problem statement. This is just so you don't have to keep referring to, say, like a textbook or the homework handout or whatnot, just so it's already there and you can refer to it quicker. And then you're going to list all of your givens. This just shows you and the professor that you were able to read through the problem statement and really pick out all the information. Usually, really long problem statements are really truly broken down into just a few givens and a couple findings. So definitely don't let that overwhelm yourself. So I would list those below, whether bullet points, A, B, C, or so on. And then you're going to have a find section. That was kind of messy, but I'm going with it. Right there. So again, you're going to name it or bullet point it or whatnot. And then you're going to have your, I would do assumptions next. And if you're watching this video, you probably already know what assumptions are, but, just things like neglect, the weight, or neglect gravity from weight, or, there's a lot of different types of things like no change in kinetic energy or potential energy or steady state, open system, closed system, like control, like whatever it may be, right? These are super important, especially as you get into your junior, senior, oh my gosh, junior, senior year, stuff like that, right? Just for any engineering, right? Always want to state your assumptions because that can help cancel things out in equations, and just so it knows that this is kind of like, a base problem, and then I would go into my analysis and / solution. I kind of change this up sometimes for classes just based off how the professor wants to see the solution, but you can do that. And then always make sure to state your governing equation. So right here, and then that's my governing equation. And then you're going to solve that equation with all of your givens and findings. Usually you get your governing equation from kind of like what you're supposed to be finding, right? And sometimes like you're going to get this part like as your answer right there. And then I would just go over here and say that's solution of like part A. And then you're going to have another governing equation. And just depending on how long the homework problem is, you're going to repeat this as much as you need to make sure all of your solutions are nice and organized, because usually a professor will jump straight to the answers and then go through your work, or sometimes they'll go through your work. We always want to work downwards in engineering paper. We don't really work across. It's just easier to read up and down than left and right when you're actually dealing with putting in givens or into your equations. So overall, this is kind of like how I would lay it out. This is how I've always ever seen it. There's good examples online as well, but this is kind of just walking you through why it's important to always structure your work really nice and neatly, especially when your homework starts to get really packed and you're losing paper and stuff. Another thing that I have done is I've stapled stuff up here and I keep it as a booklet. So there's multiple ways to stay organized that I can go over in another video, but this is just how to set up your paper.